Statistics suggest that India's Sachin Tendulkar is one of the world's greatest batsmen. But what is the difference that sets him apart? To excel in international cricket, a batsman like Tendulkar must have 4 key attributes: the ideal physique, good technique, a well-honed temperament, and lightning reflexes. In terms of physique, whilst international batsmen come in all shapes and sizes, cricket experts and sports physiologists have argued that Sachin may have been blessed with a perfect physique. The history books tell us that the very best batsmen rarely grow to great heights. Just below Tendulkar in the top 5 run scorers of all time is his mentor and friend, Sunil Gavaskar. At a diminutive 1.625 metres, that's 5 feet 4 inches, he packed a powerful punch that took him to the top of the sport throughout the 1970s and 80s. Among Tendulkar's peers in the top 5 rankings is West Indian batsman Brian Lara, who shares the limelight at only 1.7 metres tall or 5 feet 7. Further back in time, the legendary Australian batsman Sir Donald Bradman, who reigned supreme in the 1930s and is arguably the greatest batsman of all time, was also just a mere 1.7 metres tall.
It's not a coincidence that you do find generally that the world's greatest batsmen are actually of a short stature, and the reason for that is to be able to use their short levers to be able to move quickly and obviously react.
When we talk about levers, we are always talking in terms of the length of the segment of the body, in this case, because we're talking about the batsman, in relation to the point of rotation. So for an action like batting, the action will take place about the shoulders. So when we talk about a short lever for Sachin Tendulkar, it would mean that the length of his arm is much shorter than a bowler. You would prefer a bowler to have longer arms because there are different mechanical concepts at play there. In the case of batting, you want to swing as fast as you can because the size of the bat, the length of the bat is controlled. So that is a fixture that cannot be changed. So the only thing that changes is the length of your arm.
Standing at a diminutive 1.63 metres tall or 5 feet 4, Sachin Tendulkar's relatively short arms, or levers, offer him a natural advantage in his chosen discipline. In addition, the makeup of the muscles within Sachin's arms may also offer a clue to his success. Muscles make body movements possible through fibres which fire or expand and contract to create a specific physiological action. There are 2 kinds of fibres, fast twitch and slow twitch. Fast twitch fibres fire in rapid succession, creating explosive power and speed. Slow twitch fibres, on the other hand, expand and contract less frequently and in a sustained manner. Slow twitch fibres create motion and action that can be sustained over a longer period.
Some of us have got a greater proportion of slow twitch fibers, others have a greater proportion of fast twitch fibers, which explains possibly the natural selection to why some athletes go into certain sports. So those with a majority of fast twitch fibers tend to go into explosive events, sprinting, gymnastics. Those with slow twitch fibers tend to go into endurance type of events. In a sport like cricket, you need a lot of explosive power in swinging the bat vigorously. So if Sachin Tendulkar is known to have a greater proportion of fast twitch fibers, then he is naturally well selected, or he would have selected himself naturally into that sport.
So Sachin's combination of a relatively short stature allied with a seemingly optimal blend of fast and slow twitch fibres offer him major advantages. But added to this winning formula is a physical trait he shares with all top-level batsmen: remarkable reflexes. A cricket ball weighs about 160 grams, roughly the weight of a brick. When dispatched by a fast bowler, it becomes a rock-hard projectile that at speeds in excess of 150 kilometres can do serious damage. This simulation shows just how much damage. From the time the ball leaves the bowler's hand, it takes less than half a second to reach the batsman. It's literally a case of blink and you'll miss it. The average human's reaction time is 0.25 of a second. This increases dramatically with the complexity of a task and the level of stress you're under.
When a batsman sees an oncoming ball, he makes a decision based on his perception. The visual image triggers a response that kick-started from the brain down to the muscles, and the muscles executes the action, and a response is produced.
Hitting a speeding projectile in the World Cup is possibly one of the most complex and stressful tasks any athlete has to perform. It's harder than a golf swing and quicker than a knockout punch. With less than 0.3 of a second to react to a fast bowler's delivery, Sachin's ability to hit the ball successfully puts his reflexes on par with fighter pilots and Formula One racing drivers, whose reaction times have been measured at 0.16 of a second. A time frame that some scientists have argued is an impossible one in which to make such a complicated decision.
A lot of the evidence looking at decision-making in batsmen has demonstrated that really they haven't got the time to make those decisions, and yet they can make them.
The ball speed isn't the only thing the batsman has to contend with. The amount of spin a bowler imparts on a ball, the characteristics of the pitch, wind velocity, they all play a part in making each ball's trajectory unpredictable. But even with just a split second to react, the time it takes to blink, the best batsmen are consistently at the right place at the right time. And Sachin Tendulkar is there more often than most.
His sports vision, his ability to track the ball is a very, very high standard.
To be able to read the ball, position oneself and then play the ball such that you play it away from fielders or play it onto the ground, that's the difficult part, and that's what he does very well.
This is a fine shot.
Sachin Tendulkar's physical attributes, his short stature, muscle makeup and remarkable reflexes have all played a role in him becoming one of the world's great batsmen. But it may be that the true secret of Sachin's success is more than simply physical.